All right, kids, today what we have is a virtual wiring assessment. So I'm going to run through this with you, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in case you are confused. The first one is very simple. You're going to run your wires. As you can see, you need to make sure that you change your lines to the correct color for the type of wire that you want. Red and black are both hot, neutral is blue, and ground is green. So on this wire and on this particular fixture, you need to run, it's going to be two-way wire for the entire run. So you're going to start with your power, right? Run it to your switch and then to your light fixture. This next one is very, very similar. The only difference is that you're going to run it to a receptacle before the switch and your light. This is with protection. So when you wire this receptacle to your GFCI, it is really important that you wire it to the correct side, right? Remember, the line side and the load side do two entirely different things. So this is with protection and this is without protection. And then finally on your last one is a three-way switch. Remember, the common terminal goes to the power. The common terminal on the second three-way switch goes to your light. And then your two traveler wires should look identical. This would be the only one that you need a red wire on. So don't forget that you have to have that extra wire on the three-way switches. Now, just as an example to show you how to do this, so this is not one that you have actually to do, all right? But just so you can see how you run the wire. So you're going to click up here on the line, right? And I'm going to run my power to my switch. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger to make it easier to see. That is hot, so I'm going to keep that at black. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste a bunch of these and kind of pull them out of the way so that way I don't have to draw a line every single time. So on my ground, right, we all know where the ground goes. We know the ground on every single one, right, goes to that little screw right there. But the most important thing is that you change it to the right color, because if not, I'm thinking you got a hot wire. Right, and then we've got a neutral wire, right? So my neutral wire does not get connected to a switch. So I know I'm just going to go ahead and make that blue. All right. So now to my receptacle, right? I'm going to run my receptacle, right, to my power because I want my receptacle to stay on the entire time, right? And let's see here. I'm going to slide this down a little bit. So we do know that we have a neutral wire, right, that's going to go to oops, see, now look, don't do what I did. Remember, I just hooked my hot wire up here to a neutral terminal. We don't want to do that. So let me run that all the way over. Okay. Don't make sure that you run it to the right terminal. Okay. There you go. There's my little advice. So I've got neutral here, right? And then look, it is really important that when you run your neutral wires that you don't have just one wire, right, going to your switch. Remember, you're going to have two different wires, so you want to run it something like that, okay? And then from my light to my receptacle, once again, I'm going to have a neutral wire, so I'm just going to copy that blue one, right? I'm going to run it to the right terminal, and I'm going to run that over here, right? You can run it to either one of those that you want, okay? Now, if you actually take this and you make it a little bit higher, then that's fine. I know that that's going to that screw and you just kind of cleared it out of the way. Now my ground wires, we're going to have ground wires at each one. I need two more ground wires. So I'm going to take this ground wire right here and I'm going to put it on that one. And I'm going to run this over here to my terminal because I got wires going there. And then I've got this ground, right, is going to be connected all the way through just like our neutral, right? And you can run your ground terminal, right? There will be a spot on the actual outline. If you look at that, there'll be a green little terminal for your ground wires, right? So now the only question is, as you notice, I didn't run a hot wire yet, right, for my light. So in order to have this light on the entire time, right, I'm going to have a black wire, right, but it's not going to be connected to my receptacle. If I connect this black wire to my receptacle, then what's going to happen is it's going to always stay on. So I would need an extra wire. This is where I would need three-way cable for this. Like I said, the only thing that you'll need three-way cable on is your three-way switches. I'm just doing this to show you how to actually wire this. Okay, so if I'm looking at my switch now, let me delete these, get these out of the way. So now I have my my hot, neutral, and ground wire coming from my power. Those are all three hooked up in the first box. I have my hot wire wired to my power for my receptacle. My neutral wire is tied together with the power. And then my red wire that I have extra, right, is going to my single pole switch. And then I have that tied into my light switch. I have my neutral wires, right, from my light to my receptacle, and my ground wire once again going across, right? So what you need to do is wire this correctly for each one of these. So I want y'all to make sure you turn this in today, and that way whatever problems you have, we can go ahead and figure that out, and you can go ahead and get that turned in at a little bit later date. Excuse me, tomorrow after I make these corrections. So that's what I have for y'all. If you have any questions, please make sure you reach out. Let me know. And like I said, we will pick this back up tomorrow. And I hope y'all have a great day.